Meta just lost a pretty big lawsuit in New Mexico. They were told to pay $375 million to the defendants because of social media addiction. And there's a lot of headlines and people in general celebrating this happening to big tech. I also don't like Mark Zuckerberg and Meta. I hate them both, actually. Problem is, this verdict is bad for everyone who uses the internet. This is not good for you or me. It just isn't. I already don't agree with the verdict of the actual case because from what I understand, the girl involved, her home life was extremely difficult and her social life at school was just bullying. And I think it is a huge stretch to say that Instagram caused all of her mental health problems when it seems like her home life and her school life was not good. Like, if someone's life sucks, a child or not, they're gonna go towards escapism because their life sucks. And blaming Instagram for that escapism is probably the wrong move. Because if it wasn't Instagram, it would have been something else, first of all. And second of all, prohibition does not work. We have established that if there was age verification laws, it would not work. Kids will literally always bypass this stuff. You are not stopping anybody from using one of these apps if they want to. It is ridiculous to say age verification would have saved this kid. That is stupid. And don't get me wrong, something needs to be done about the internet right now. It's not in a good spot. But age verification laws and ID laws are not where we want to go. And this lawsuit is paving the way to those things. But before we talk more about that, a word from our sponsor. Have you ever paid your phone bill and wondered what you're even paying for? Like, how is it that expensive? Well, that's where today's video sponsor, Mint Mobile, comes in. Mint Mobile makes wireless shopping easy because it's all online. No stores and no salespeople. You just pick what you want and that's the end of it. And Mint lets you choose the amount of data that's right for you, ranging from 5 gigs a month all the way up to unlimited. And with Mint, you buy your wireless plan in bulk. So the more you buy up front, the more you save. And switching to Mint is extremely easy. If you already have an unlocked phone, all you need to do is get Mint and swap your eSIM, and that's it. You have Mint Mobile. And if you need a new phone, you can shop the latest phones at Mint. And either way you choose to sign up, you can keep your existing phone number and all your existing contacts if you choose to switch. And if you're worried about coverage, don't be, because Mint offers 5G coverage to 98% of Americans and 4G LTE to 99% of Americans. And on top of that, Mint also has a 7-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy with it, there you go. So what are you waiting for? Stop overpaying for your wireless plan just because that's how it's always been. With premium plans starting at just $15 a month, Mint helps you break the traditional wireless cycle. So what are you waiting for? Scan the QR code on screen or click the link down below the description to check out Mint Mobile. Thank you, Mint Mobile, for sponsoring the video. Let's get back into it. And also, based off the verdict of this case, it sounds like anyone who's ever used social media chronically has a case against any of these companies, which probably is not good. But more importantly, this lawsuit is paving the way for Meta, Google, and all these companies to implement ID and age verification to track you more because the law said they had to. That is what this lawsuit is currently doing. Like, you've probably noticed that ID verification laws are kind of a big topic in multiple different countries. Why do you think that is? It's because companies like Meta and Google and all these big tech companies are lobbying different groups to get them to push ID verification as a law so they can avoid responsibility of doing it themselves. They want the government to implement this law so they can data collect in peace and harmony, because you can't challenge the government. So this lawsuit that proves that Instagram is harmful to kids is only paving the way to get us more ID verifications and age checks on every single application to ever exist. Like, there's multiple states that are proposing that ID verification happens on your operating system, which is insane. If this ever goes into effect in any place I live in, I will be sideloading or installing Linux or something. I'm not giving my ID to my computer to use it. That's literally some 1984 shit, dude. And you know, at the end of the day, all that ID verification is doing is letting Microsoft track you even better. That's all that's gonna do. Like, it's not gonna protect anyone online. It's not gonna do anything like that. It's just gonna make everyone's life worse besides the big companies that push for this legislation. That is literally it. So yeah, this lawsuit and its verdict is bad because we don't want ID verification laws. And unfortunately, there is kind of a big push right now from lawmakers to pass things like the Save the Kids Online Act and stuff like that. Just absolute garbage. All this stuff would do is make the average person's life online infinitely worse. Because if, for example, the Kids Online Safety Act, if this goes into effect, they want to edit or appeal Section 230, which basically says that YouTube and TikTok and other companies, other social media companies like Facebook, etc., are not responsible for what is posted online. If you upload a YouTube video that is highly illegal, YouTube is not legally responsible for that content. You are as the individual. Honestly, That's just common sense. If you upload a thing to a platform and it's making a bomb or something and it's illegal, that's your fault. You did that. But with an edited version of Section 230 or without it altogether, YouTube could be sued for that video ever being published on the website, period. Like, this will get a bunch of different things censored regardless if they're actually bad or not, especially since our current administration has clearly shown they're totally okay with censoring things. Like Larry Ellison, the guy who bought TikTok, is already censoring multiple topics related to the US. They do not care about censoring things that we want to talk about. They just want to control the media sphere. So allowing them to do that is a really bad idea. And also imagine what happens when you have to verify your ID on any social media platform. If we live in a world where everyone's ID is verified and tied to their social media profile and you tweet you don't like the president, he might get you. He might come and get you. That is not even an exaggeration. He clearly does not like when people don't like him. Even just recently, he said he only hangs out with losers because it makes him look better. I'm not even exaggerating. He actually said that.
I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better.
It's crazy he's at the stage of mental deterioration where he just says whatever's on his mind. But all these lawsuits and all the claims of trying to protect kids are not trying to actually protect kids. Shocker, I know. All they want is you to give your ID to big tech companies so they can track you and sell your data more efficiently. And the government wants you to stop saying things that are mean about the government. Like, lawmakers have literally said that the Kids Online Safety Act is to protect people from the transgender. They don't care about your kids' safety online whatsoever. They just want to pass dumb laws to censor people they don't like and just existences they fundamentally disagree with. Like, this whole thing is literally the same as like the satanic panic. It's all made up. None of it's real. The government does not care about your kids at all. They would send them to Iran if it meant more oil. And big tech companies definitely do not care about you or your kid. The reason they want to ID check and age verify is because they want to be able to sell you things more efficiently. That is quite literally all this is. And I'm more or less ignoring the social media addiction angle of this entire topic because I don't think it's super relevant right now, because realistically, none of this is actually about that. Like, the laws they're pushing for social media addiction won't even solve that problem, because all they're pushing is ID verification and age verification, which we all know, we've seen it before. Kids can bypass it using video game characters, and ID verification is just a great way to get the government and everybody who wants to spy on you constantly. Like, you think these companies won't leak your ID if they accept it? Because they definitely will. Discord literally had that happen right before they tried to get everyone's ID. And to top it all off, the whole thing about removing Section 230, right? I have seen some people on the left talk about removing Section 230. Do you realize you agree with the Heritage Foundation? The group that brought us Trump 2.0? Do you realize this was on the Project 2025 agenda? If this administration wants to get rid of something, it's probably a terrible idea to agree with them on it. I'm just saying. Ultimately, this is a terrible verdict. I'm actually shocked so many people are really happy about this, especially given the background of the person in the lawsuit. Like, the kid's life sounds pretty terrible. Like, they were bullied by their own mother. Their school life was not good. And just overall, it makes a lot of sense why they were constantly on Instagram. They wanted escapism because their actual life sucked. And blaming escapism or vices themselves has literally never gone well in history ever. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, new click that, don't talk about my content, and have a good one.